Hey everyone. As if I can like Jason Aldean even more. I've liked him since high school, and he just keeps getting better and better. He becomes a better musician over time, and he just becomes more of an individual that I want to support. You guys know the controversy with his new track, Try That in a Small Town. Now, if you don't, there are some, quote, controversial lyrics, which is far left progressive speak for logical lyrics that they don't want to hear because it hurts their sensibilities. And people are adding their own really ridiculous spin on these lyrics. And it's baffling, but not shocking. And I want to just take a look really, really quick at the first verse, because that's the part that they have issues with, is the first verse and the chorus. So let's take a look at this real quick. I don't know if I'm going to pop it on the screen. I'm probably going to be too lazy, but you can Google search it. It's not that difficult. But the first verse is sucker punch someone on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Now, a lot of people think that this is in regards to sundown towns and lynching. As if they don't think black people live in small towns and black people aren't country folk. Nowhere in the lyrics at all is race mentioned. And it's remarkable the lengths people will go. But what I love is the fact that there is one woman that's making the rounds on all the conservative black circles for being absolutely butternut insane. Let's take a look at her video because it makes me laugh. It really does. At how many hoops she has to go through, how far she has to stretch to come to the conclusions that she's come to. Let's take a listen.
So are we going to talk about the racist dog whistles in Jason Aldean's new song or no?
Well, I mean, seeing as he didn't mention race once in this entire song, and you have to find some way to be victim, I guess we're going to have to talk about the so-called racist dog whistles. Ooh.
Because this got me fired up. When I tell you there was a visceral response to hearing this song for the first time today, I mean that.
Notice how all the more privileged looking black people always seem to have visceral, absolutely disgusted reactions whenever they hear something. And then they add their own spin to it to make it worse than it actually is. It never ceases to amaze me. They always have these visceral reactions. Meanwhile, logical black people like Mr. Topher.
Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight.
Can't seem to find the racism in the song. I wonder why. I literally wonder why that is, that Topher, who's a black man, can't see the racism in the song, but the biracial looking chick has a visceral reaction given the racism that's supposedly coded in the song itself. But let's proceed with Her Highness's video.
After listening to this song one time, the references that I heard were nods to sundown towns and lynch mob.
Let me just remind you, lady, that any example to what you're talking about that you provide is going to be how you perceive the black community, not how Jason perceives the black community, because you're the one adding your spin to Jason's song.
And actually, this song is a great example of how you don't have to mention race at all for something to very obviously be about race.
Where I can agree with that statement to a point, this is not one of those times. Like, at all. Like, not even in the slightest is it one of those times. So, come on, hit me. Where are you going with this?
So the song is called Try That in a Small Town, and if you're with me, you already know where this is going.
Yep. Faux privileged outrage by what looks like a biracial chick trying to make something racist so she can pretend to play victim on the internet for like 5 minutes and then move on to the next thing to play victim about. Yeah, I'm with you.
So right out of the gate in the first verse, he's talking about very stereotypical crimes that...
That what? That who make? What's the stereotype? Huh? Come on, say it. Say it. I want to hear you say the bigoted part out loud that you're implying. Say it.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Like carjackings and robbing liquor stores. Who talks about those crimes?
Well, I mean, Jason did in his song. That's who talks about those crimes. I would think that would be pretty obvious, given who we're talking about.
Sounds like he got his inspiration for this song from Fox News.
And CNN, CBS, MSNBC, and pretty much anyone else that was reporting on those types of crimes, because those were what were reported. Like, the video was nothing but actual news reports. Wow. And again, I'm still trying to figure out, even if it was gotten from Fox News, what it has to do with race.
And then he goes on to say, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Who could he be talking about there? Because I guarantee you it's not the people from the Capitol.
Now, before I get any further in this video, I want to give my 2 cents on the whole Capitol situation, and it'll just take like a couple seconds.
Newsflash, nobody gives a fuck about it. We all admit that shit was pretty dumb, but that's about it. When we saw the news, we were shocked and we were kind of tense. Like, damn. Then we forgot about it by the 10th. Nobody's walking around stressing over Jan 6. It happened, and that was it. We haven't gave a damn since. It's all good when riots are kept in the hood, but now you're freaking out because this was in the neck of your woods.
Thank you, Samson. You said everything perfectly. Now, we're not talking about January 6th because that's not where most of the violent stuff is happening. We're not. You guys want to focus on January 6th, regardless of your side on January 6th. It's ridiculous to focus solely on that. But you don't want to talk about the crime that happened in y'all's neighborhoods. The looting, the destruction of businesses, the harassment of people, black communities crying over the destruction done to them by people of their own community. You don't want to talk about that. It's just easier to ignore that, I guess. Sweep it under the rug for the sake of progression. That's not how we work.
Nope. So then we get to the chorus, and this is where shit just gets wild.
Just remember, boys and girls, when a super privileged progressive girl says crap's about to get wild, most likely it's going to be the most tame, logical sounding thing you're going to ever hear in your entire life. So let's buckle up, hold on to our butts, and hear what she has to say about the chorus of the song.
So he says, well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Round here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town.
Yeah, pretty much. She's 100% factually correct. You try that mess in any of the small towns, the one that I lived in, Starkville, would not have had that going on at all. You will see trouble. Because in the country, we don't mess around like that. But let's hear the outlandish thing that you think Jason's implying here. And remember, whatever you say out loud is how you view the black community, not how Jason views the black community.
Tell me that that is not a reference to sundown town behavior. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Of course we can't convince you otherwise, because you're so stuck in your ways, you refuse to listen to anyone else say things. In fact, you refuse to even listen to other black people who know more than you say things that would convince you otherwise. You have had, if you go to TikTok and you look at the responses to her, a lot of it's black people telling her she's flat out wrong. Southern country black folk that are like, hey, you're just wrong. And other minorities such as Curly Boy Chuck. Let's hear what he had to say real quick.
But I want to talk about how you just exposed yourself. See, Jason Aldean never spoke about an actual black person in any of his lyrics. What he talked about was people who steal, people who carjack, people who burn flags, and you interpret that as he must be speaking about black people. You just exposed how you see black people in this country, madam, not him. Don't you just love when liberals expose themselves? And I don't even listen to country music. So no, I'm not speaking as a super fan. I'm speaking as a logical person. Keep it up, wokies. I'm just getting started.
You just gotta love it when even people who don't listen to that genre of music are telling you that you're wrong. And let's even listen to the statement that Jason Aldean made in regards to this whole situation. And good on him for sticking to his guns. Pun slightly intended in this situation. And not backing down.
So he put out a statement.
You did?
Yeah, let me read the statement.
Hope it didn't sound racist.
Well, it doesn't help. He's like,
There is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it. And while I can try and respect others to have their own interpretation of a song, with music, this one goes too far. Jason Aldean.
And good on Jason for sticking to his morals. Nowhere did he mention race. Nowhere did he imply race. According to the Hodge twins, when they watched the music video, I have yet to see the music video, but when they watched the music video, there were people of all races committing crimes. So good on Jason for sticking to his guns and not backing down, which I wouldn't really expect anything different from him. I mean, put your politics aside. He stuck to his guns when he was defending Donald Trump. Don't care if you like Trump or not. I'm not a Trump supporter. But I'm just saying he stuck to his guns when he supported Trump. He stuck to his guns whenever he spoke out against anything. So why would this be any different? He's not going to allow you to put him in a box and say, hey, you're being this, when in reality, you guys on the far progressive side are exposing yourself and showing people how you really are and how you really view Black America. You think us as Black Americans do nothing but steal liquor from liquor stores, carjack people, and do all these horrendous, heinous things. When Jason was simply pointing out that big cities have high crime. It's true. Were a lot of those video clips of black people? Yeah, because they were probably from Black Lives Matter rallies. Shocker, I know. But you know what? You guys keep exposing yourself, and you're going to keep driving people to come more to the center. I'm not even saying be a Republican, because I'm not a Republican, but come more to the center, and maybe even more conservative, simply because you guys cannot stand or handle any type of truth being said. You listen to the corporate media all while at the same time saying corporations are bad, which that's ironic. But good on Jason. And thank God for all the black folk that are on TikTok calling this nonsense out, saying, if you think that this is racist, you're being silly. So, that's all I have to say here, guys. I know this video was a little long, but you know what? I had a lot to say on this, and plus this was just fun making just a long video without worrying about keeping it to a certain point. Usually I worry because I don't want people to have to sit through my ears on a chalkboard? Nails on a chalkboard voice for too long. But guys, thank you so much for listening to this video. I appreciate you so much. If you liked it, hit the like button. Dislike it, hit the dislike button. Comment down below and all those wonderful things that you do at a video. This is Gabe Radio Blobfish signing off, saying take care and God bless. Peace out, everybody. And remember, be good to one another, because life is too short. And another thing, stop implying racism where there is none, because when you do that, it makes you out to be the racist, not the person that you're calling out.